Okay. Let's get it. Shall we? Woo, good morning, guys. How y'all doing? Okay. Brr. Okay. Yesterday, we got through all the afflictions, at least all the afflictions I could think of. And today, we're going to be doing imbuements. Oh boy, oh boy. Hope your morning has been well. It's been okay. It's been alright. I just woke up, so it's just started. But let's see how much of this we can get done. I might have to head out early today. Um, Probably an hour early, but we'll see how much I get done. But I'm planning on just jamming through it, so. Okay. We're going to listen to the Expedition 33 soundtrack today.
obscur, trouble de rature, courbera et fleurs. Clair, obscur, pavillon, peinture, trouvera sans elle.
Probably fading. You know, I think I'm having trouble with here is I think I need to make more imbuements. I'm also thinking about how I want things to stack. Because I don't want courage from the same source to stack unless it's in certain instances. Just got to figure out what those instances are. What do I want inspired / heroism to actually do? Imbued incurs resistance to fear. No. It's what did I use? Frightened and horror. Keep the keywords together. Keyword. Cringed nodders, yeah. I'm gonna have to do a lot of thinking about this one because I got to think about how this is gonna stack, how all it's gonna go together. Yeah. So many of these work streams are just me staring at a screen, right? People tell me they really like them, but I always just feel about it's got to be boring.
Le silence et la nuit, magie et poésie, reine fille, lueur taciturne, muse des âmes nocturnes.
I'm here for the music. Cap. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to take care of something real quick. All right. You look at me. You look at me, camera. Can you guys hear the music, by the way? Is it too loud? Okay. Hidden. Hidden and invisible. Those are two that I'm missing. Hidden or concealed? Hidden. No, invisible. Invisible's the magic one. Okay. So these others affect attacks and stuff, so I want to focus on courage and resistances to afflictions, I think, for inspired and heroism. So let's see. Resistance to frightened and horror. Maybe resistance to fatigue and exhaustion? Yeah, that makes sense. Somebody inspires you to push beyond your limits. That makes sense. Oh, that makes sense to me. Oh. That reads better. Frightened and horror. That'll be. I think exhaustion and fatigue is a good one.
Étincelle, fragment essentiel, éclat, clarté, ardent regard, vigilant, peur du néant.
Remove the marked condition. Okay, make sure that was what I thought it was.
Ciel, ton chagrin annuel t'ôte l'éternel. Éveille, veilleuse. Attends la toile s'efface dans le temps.
Will there be more gamba in prison? The D20 and all the other dice rolls are going to be more impactful, yeah.
Autrefois, tu écoutais nos voix. À présent, notre absence témoin. Cris, chante, chute sale du temps. Ciel libre, âme du néant.
Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, listen, 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 listen. Continue to listen, listen. Now, listen, listen. All right, so this is how Inspired's going to work. Inspired slash heroism. Tier 1, you're going to gain Courage, equal to the current tier of the imbuement. Now, Courage gives you temp HP at the start of each of your turns, or whenever it's gained, when it would be freshly applied. I'll have to work on the wording of that. But the idea is that you get Courage. Okay? That's going to give you temp HP. Courage stacks with itself. I'm going to have to clarify that. It should stack with itself on Inspire. So the intention that it'll be stackable for Inspire. So the idea is it's like, okay, tier 1, you get 1 temporary HP. It's not a super bunch, but you know, it's something that'll be helpful. And then tier 2, you gain resistance to Frightened and Horror, and you gain 2 each turn while you maintain Inspire. So the idea is that since it stacks with itself, being inspired early in the fight means that you're short up against, you know, Frightened and shit like that, but you're also gaining temp HP as the fight goes on. So one of the things I'm thinking about is, like, if you cast a spell like Bless or whatever, and one of the augmentations is they're inspired, then that means I'd probably do something like they're inspired and the spell gets upkeep, and when you spend your mana point, it maintains the inspired or something like that. But the idea is that you put inspired on somebody and it stacks up. And as it stacks up, it gets more and more powerful on a scale, right? Because if you have like a tier 4 Inspire, you're looking at, not only are you resistant to several bad conditions, but more importantly, if you don't have those conditions, you're just getting temp HP every turn. And I think that if it's every turn, and with the ability to avoid damage or block damage and stuff like that, that can be a really sizable temp HP bonus. Especially if we have the modifiers to be as low as they are, right? Like if somebody's only attacking you with a +5 damage, right? Like the imbue is going to matter. So it's, yeah, I think it's pretty good. There's a lot of interaction points with that. And then the tier 7 Inspire is you just wake somebody up, which is pretty cool. And I think it fits the flavor of like yelling at somebody to believe in themselves, you know, like very anime. Somebody's down, you fucking call for them to stand, which is very nice. Also, having direct counters to afflictions is going to be important. For example, like Inspired is going to be something that Wanderers and Marshals get, like Warlord and like the Bard of the Wanderer get the ability to give mundane forms of this effect, so that's why it's Inspired. And then the casters can cast, heroism augmentations. Yeah. I think that's good. I think that works. And Inspired ticks down, so it has to be upkept if you want to keep it strong. Whether by spending mana from a heroism effect, because it's like a concentration spell, or if it's just like if you had a warlord character which is something I'm kind of hashing out as I'm going along, is you attack somebody and you inspire somebody because you're attacking them. So that means when you attack, like, you're inspiring people, you're stacking it up, stuff like that. Should I make it stackable? That could get out of hand. I don't think I should make it stackable. Yeah. Well, should let me see if the conditions it fights are the afflictions it fights are stackable. Not that one. Let's see. Exhaustion is not stackable. Oh. What? Oh, I didn't put stackable on this. That's a good thing to catch. I was about to say it should be stackable. Okay, so that's one. And marked is consumable, not stackable. Still something that could be gotten rid of, I think. And now we enter the part where I have to fucking balance out shit. If it is stackable, it would be an opportunity cost, choosing to maintain the stack rather than letting it fade. Cost versus movement, attacking, raw healing. True, but like, I'd also want to make the inspired source. Like, the Bard might spend its actions on that. The Warlord, I would make attack and be able to inspire. So, and here's the big thing, right? And this is really the thing I'm like thinking of. If I make this stackable, then people might try to game it and like take a bunch of characters that have it, and then just everybody inspires one person every round and it stacks up, right? So I guess I could make it stackable in the way that it has to be equal to or higher than. Yeah, I think that's good. That way you could actually maintain it as it goes down. Yeah, I'll do it that way. I think that's good. Besides, support abilities need to be strong in order to be worth doing. I don't want this to be a thing where healers and support classes become meaningless, I don't want that. I don't want somebody to feel like they're wasting their action points by helping somebody else because their help feels like it's not worth anything, right? But I also don't want to make buffing too. I don't want to make buffing superior than doing other things without buffing first, right? I don't want buffing to be a required checklist before you do things, right? Yeah. I think that's good. Okay. And we'll have it stacked this way. Clear up scuba. Tier 1 inspired reapplied with grant Tier 2, but couldn't go to Tier 3 without 2 tier inspiration source. That's the idea, guys. But I think this is good because it has aesthetic appeal, which is something I really like. Like things like it makes sense that it would work on those things. It has a constant use. THP is always going to be useful, right? So that means if you end up fighting a bunch of creatures that don't cause those status effects, the afflictions, your courage mechanic is still active. Plus, there's combo potential for composition, right? Like you because there's going to be things that trigger or are available to be used or whatever if you have courage, right? So having a character that could give you courage is a composition asset. You know what I mean? And I think that's really cool because then players, when they make their characters and try to like put themselves together with each other and stuff like that, will try to make combinations to test out. Oh, like I want to do this or I want to do that, and I think that's really good. Yeah, I think that's good. I've already done rage. Aided and bless. Okay. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. Okay. This is not going to give courage. Hmm. Let me see what afflictions I have. Am I okay with a +7? It's a pretty big attack bonus, and bonuses are always going to be more impactful than penalties. Hmm. Still, keeping everything within the purview of 7 is aesthetically pleasing to me. And I do think the number's small enough to stick with the mantra, because it's like, what am I going to look at late game? How difficult will it be to achieve the higher tiers? The small numbers are still rather small. The idea is that you don't want them to be attached to like 18 different things that all add together, and then people have to crunch out math. So limiting everything to a 7 spectrum as like the absolute max, it works for me. Plus it's aesthetic, and I like that. So well, see, the problem, Gaz, that I have, I don't mind. I didn't mind in Corvanus that people had reasonable bonuses to hit an AC and shit like that, because that's what building a character is for. My problem is that when I ask them how they got to that number, very few people were able to answer me with any sort of confidence, which tells me they don't know, right? Like they don't actually know where those numbers are coming from, and that's the thing that gets me, right? Because if you don't know where those bonuses are coming from, then that messes with the integrity of the story and the integrity of the game state. Because the last thing that I want is for people to think that some people are getting away with it, right? And that's one thing on the side because it's going to cause drama. But the other thing is that it'll invalidate the triumphs that players have, right? And then once that starts happening, then people lose interest. So it's one of those things, right? Is when I ask people how they get, like, a majority of the time, I would say a noticeable majority, I would ask people how they got to those numbers, and they could not answer me. Or it would take them 10 minutes of trying to figure out how to explain what all the macros are. And a lot of times it would be that, like, buffs that they had in previous fights never got taken off, right? That happened a lot. You know, things like that. And then people don't notice it, and then people get used to it, and then people think that's their actual attack bonus. This is not a thing about honesty or dishonesty, because I can't prove that, right? Do I suspect that some people were choosing not to correct the number because it was in their favor? Yeah, it probably happened a lot. Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this system this way, is that a player knows exactly where all of their stuff is coming from. And it should be that the only time that they don't is from user input error or from Foundry messing up, which hopefully we can avoid that by having everything custom made for it. So, but yeah, in either case, I think yeah, I think this is how it should be. Now, what am I going to do with Bliss, though? Okay, let's do. All right, so let's walk through this, right? So regular bless in 5e is 1d4, which is an average of 2. So to get to the average of a d4, you would need to get to tier 2 blessed. To get to its maximum, you would need tier 4. I think that's a reasonable spot to be in. Yeah. I also will make it fading but not stackable. So the idea is that you cast tier 3, bless on somebody. They have a +3 to hit, but each round that bonus ticks down, right? And it shouldn't be difficult for a player to track that if we have it automatically update in Foundry. So it shouldn't be a problem. Does that mean the tier decreases each round? Yeah, that's what fading means. Fading means the tier goes down each round. Yeah. I just hope there isn't too many effects for people to keep track of, which is the concern. Well, first of all, it'll be programmed into Foundry. Second of all, I mean, it's like, I think that's okay. I think people keeping track of their afflictions and imbuements, I mean, yeah, they should be able to, right? I mean, you can't completely remove player involvement. You know what I mean? I mean, they have to keep track of their hit points, don't they? They're going to have to keep track of their action points. They have to keep track of their mana points. I mean, I don't think it's too much. Some people don't even keep track of their HP. I don't disagree, Gaz, but I also can't design a system for the there has to be a line in the sand, right? Some players are always going to have trouble no matter what kind of system that I make. So I'm trying to design this for the medium tier, right? For the middle, where I can get the most players. And to be honest, it's not going to be that hard. It really won't be. What tier especially if I get people into the good habit of, okay, at the start of your turn, the first thing that you do before anything else, like marshal checking, is adjust tiers. You go through all of your tiers. And I think that if I get people used to doing that, like at the start of each of their turns, not only does it help them prepare for their turn, but it makes sure that everything is set, right? I think that it's I think there'll be an adjustment period, but that's what the training is for, right? Remember, we're not raw dogging people into this. They're going to have practiced the system before they actually play it. So, I don't think it'll be a problem. And besides, the only way I could possibly remove them having to track things is by removing effects completely. You know what I mean? Keeping track of shit on your character sheet is the job of the player. And it comes to a point where it's like, come on. You know what I mean? Like you got to do it. I mean, you're playing the game, right? Yeah. Yeah, otherwise let's play a diceless system or some shit like that. Yeah, I'm not playing a rules light system. Yeah, I'm just not. So that's not what I'm trying to make. But I am trying to make it, you know, understandable, and I'm trying to make it good, I guess. Let's see, do any of these other ones deal with... Okay, that one should deal with bleed and poison and stuff. Reinforced wardage should deal with that. Trance. Okay. Bestowed. Question about the imbuements that go up to +7 to hit. What will a player's base bonus to hit be? Is it like prof and ability mods? So the base to hit for a character is most likely, at this point, going to just be the base modifier of their main attribute. I think is where I'm leaning right now. Because I don't like proficiency bonus. I think that it's a really weird way to do level scaling. I think... Okay, I should be more clear. I liked it for 5th edition. I do not want to inherit it. I don't think it will work in the system in that way. I think the simplification that I can do is to... Your attributes are your main sources of bonuses. And having the choice of, do I want to build into this versus building tall versus building wide so that you can have good sub-attributes, I think will be one of the challenging factors of this game for for building your character. Now, granted, I'm not married to that yet. I might come up with a proficiency system, but as of right now, making your base stats the main thing that governs everything means that part of the game is super simple. And that everything else is afflictions and imbuements and how you spend your action points and how you interact with the game state. Because like I said with... the mantra of the game is small numbers, big decisions. So it's like your base numbers are going to be incredibly easy to calculate, and we all know where it's all coming from. So when you get stuff like blessed or whatever, those are your main sources of game state interaction, which is why I don't think tracking them is going to be a problem. And instead of having proficiency, what I did was a scaling AP system, so you just have more action points to do more things. Doing things is more fun than... I think doing more things total with a slightly less success rate than doing few things is more fun for people, is what I'm getting at. And also, something to keep in mind is that in this system, you're going to have active defenses that you spend action points on. So you'll be doing a lot of shit. Did I just lose my audio? I did. My headset turned off. Hello? That was weird. Anyway, back to work.
Sors et fuis, je t'en prie. Fuis ce tableau maudit, cette toile d'une fausse vie. Portrait rêvé, imparfait, chair de ta liberté. Alors tranchons la trame, découle la sinistre esquisse. Sors et fuis, je t'en prie. Fuis ce tableau maudit, cette toile
It's too early. What I'll do is do that. I'll do that for tier 6. And this instead will be actually that's tier 4. And tier 3 would be cursed. Cursed. Now, what should the capstone of Blessed be? How much of the conditions imbuement system will Foundry be able to take care of, automate? Also, hi Arcadum. What's up, Star Aura? Hopefully all of it. Like, I talked to this guy with Hades who's gonna, like, make all of it in the system, so... I think that works really well. Yeah. Wait. Oh, I already had concealed invisible. What a fucking dummy I am. You should put on Gangnam Style. What's up, Monka? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Of course I remember you, man. In the Discord, you had the really deep voice, and you'd be like, please, please, call me Monka. That's very nice. I remember most people. Hello, Arcadum. Are you making a new system? That's right, Mastorian. I'm finally making my own D&D system. That's what I've been working on. Finally, with the game's ending, I can commit full time to it. And it is, man, we are making so much progress. Are you ahead on schedule? I wouldn't say I'm ahead. I still have a lot to do for the Kickstarter, and I have to get it all done for my launch at the end of the month. I basically have 6 days to get it done, but I think I'm going to get it done in time. I really hope so, at least. But wasn't the Verum system already your own system? It was, but it wasn't from scratch. I'm making my own system from scratch. Verum was still very much based in 5e. Yeah. Will the colors have an effect in the new world? Yes. The system is actually designed. It's called Prism for a reason. It's designed with all the colors of creation in mind. So the magic system, for example, is you choose a color of magic that you want to use for your character. And it changes how all of your magic is cast. What number continent is Prism? Prism is not the continent. Prism is the system that I'm making for the next continent of play. The next continent is Alien Class, and it's Continent 1. Sir Caden, what would you say would like to be the base idea for fantasy of this TTRPG? Are we talking heroic spell sword? Is this a little gritty leaning? Well, it takes place in what is going to be the near future of my setting. Is what Prism is designed around. So think like Magitech, like the cusp of Magitech type stuff. It's going to be like steampunk fantasy a little bit, but it's like right before that, like right before like serious steampunk fantasy. Like there will be airships, there'll be guns, which are just advanced looking wands in which magic can be used through. But there will also be traditional spell and sword though. What happens when someone using the Prism system travels to another continent? Does the NPC player interact with other Prism? Prism is going to be the system I use from this point forward. The Prism system is replacing the Verum system. That's a good way of looking at it, Ken Morrow. Like FF7's feel. But like a couple steps before it. Like there won't be trains, for example. Rock and Roll McDonald's. Let's see. I'll keep working on these imbuements, but then I'll have to go through and answer the questions people have in their epilogue stuff. I got to get that done today. Yeah, we'll leave in about an hour and 20. Let's fucking solo. Let's go. This dude is jamming. I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs, yeah. Awesome. That's a clean burning hell, I'll tell you what. Man, now we're getting to the good stuff. Time to go fast. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom, though. I gotta do some thinking. Alright, I'm back. Are you guys ready to do the hasted stuff? People are gonna get... Whoa. All right, I need to fucking jam. All right, here we go. All right, let's get it done. Lock the fuck in. And reclaim what was mine. Those cravers backstab me, deceive me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Yeah. 7,000 souls getting daunted. Such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. What's up, Matt? There's way more to avenge. 50 million souls live in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Yeah!
Call down the reckoning, bring back hope and peace, restore our gloria to live forever. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power.
Okay, I think this is. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is fucking awesome, to be honest. I think this is a great way to do haste slash surged. Walk you through my thought process here. So, initiative is rolled every round in Prism, so that way there's a level of like unpredictability, and it also means that if you get stuck in a bad initiative, you're not stuck there the entire fight, right? So that's number one. So getting a bonus to initiative rolls means you more consistently go first, which means that you have to force enemies to decide whether or not they're going to use defensive actions, which means that they either use their defensive actions, spend their action points outside of their turn, and then they just, don't have action points on their turn, or they allow your attacks to go through and then they can then attack back, right? And that's kind of like one of the key features of Prism, I think, is how action points are allocated, because once the turn ends, initiative is re-rolled, and then everyone's action points refresh, and then you go through the whole round again. So there's a discernible advantage to going first, because you force the enemy to have to decide whether or not to use their action points to stop you. Because if they use their action points to stop you, then they have less on their turn to attack you back, right? And that's kind of the trade-off back and forth. And then you have obviously Surge and Haste gives you a bonus to initiative rolls, which increases the chances of you going first, but not guaranteed. You get a bonus to movement rating, which is just a solid benefit all the time. And then at tier 3, if you go before every other non-hasted creature, so that means other hasted creatures can also go before them and get their action point, but you have to go before all the other non-hasted characters. I think this is a good way to do it. Instead of it being a guaranteed huge benefit of extra action points, you actually have to beat everyone on initiative. You have to be faster than them. Like, you literally have to be. So that means on characters with a high base initiative, haste would be even better, which means that dex-based characters have a slight edge, in that regard. And then you've got your resistance and removal of staggered and stun, so that haste can be used as a more powerful forms of haste can actually free people from minor bindings. And then the 6 and 7 are just more action points. Is that a general rule or a master rule for having everyone roll initiative before every incident? What do you mean before every incident? You mean each round? Yeah. So that's the idea, right? Is that every round you roll initiative again. And the reason why that's important is it is going to be a core master rule, because it's very important to me that, first of all, combat doesn't get stagnant, right? Rerolling initiative, which can be automated in Foundry, means that every single turn is different than the last. Every single set of parameters change, which means the decisions that you have to make are more important as the fight goes on. It'll keep people engaged. It means that if you get a shitty initiative roll and you're at the end, you're not stuck there forever. I know jack and nothing about D&D, but I've been curious about it for years, and I don't have the patience to read rulebooks. I mean, that's fair. Also, weren't you around when I was doing Death and Debts? I think I remember your name. No? Let me go back through the message history. Oh, you watched when I was doing the Fire Lord stuff, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Well, welcome. But yeah, so traditionally in D&D, since you don't know, you roll initiative once and then you stick with that initiative throughout the whole fight, which is good for clean gameplay, I guess. It is simplified, but it's bad if you get a shitty initiative roll. And so much of the game is determined by initiative, which is the very first roll that you make in a combat, right? So, one of the ways that I want this system to combat that problem is that initiative is rerolled every single round. But you also have a lot more active defenses that you can use your action points for. So that means like big, heavily armored, shield based, slower characters, right? Actually want to go after their enemies because they're going to have specializations in their defensive mechanics. So it's better for an enemy to attack them first, for them to use their better action economy to prevent damage, so that then they can counterattack. And since they are preventively designed to be slower, that means that their initiative bonus will most likely be less, which means they are more likely to go after. But the inverse of that is that you can have characters that have a lot of bonuses if they go first. So you have this kind of dance of balance around those two things. And I also think it makes combat more interesting because every single round is different. And I think it'll really reward people staying invested. It'll reward people paying attention, and it rewards people for making good decisions in battle as parameters change, which is the whole concept of the system of small numbers, big decisions. So, yeah, exactly. That's how it's done. That's the idea. And that's kind of what I'm working on. And I think that having haste giving bonus action points only if you go before every non-hasted creature gives a slight level of randomness to an otherwise incredibly powerful effect. Because extra action economy is always going to be king, and I don't want it to be guaranteed. But I also don't want it to suck. And I think this is a good like even kill. Because if you if you have like tier 7 haste, right? Which first of all, that's like an end game ability, right? Then you have a +7 to your initiative rolls. It is unlikely that you are not going to go before people that aren't hasted. But you could roll a 1, you could roll a 3, a 4, or a 5, right? You could roll really poorly. And then if you roll really poorly, you could have a beatable initiative. And then you're not always going to get it. But you will consistently get it more often. And I think that's good. I think that's a really good way of doing it. I think people will enjoy that. Oh boy. Renewed and regeneration. Oh mama. Anyway, it's really good to see you, Lord Volkas. Always like seeing people from the old days coming by. I think the last message you sent was before today was, let's see, what does the history say? January 10th, 2021. Man, that was a long time ago. Yep, that was before I got married. Well, congratulations, man. And thanks for being here. It really means a lot. Yeah. It's good to know that people don't hate me. Let's see here. I had to think about this one. I think this one's going to be a big deal. Stackable. And fading. Three-year anniversary this past week. We did a cosplay wedding. That's good stuff, man. It's really cool, actually. So how would Action Surge work? Well, so for the Warriors, so Action Surge is going to exist in a way. It's just not going to exist in the way that you think that it's like the way that you might think that it will, right? So what you're going to get is you're going to get a special action type, which will be like the 5th level capstone. Where is it? And the idea is that you'll have a... Oh, here it is. Here it is. So you'll have these actions here. The 4th level ability is basically what kind of flavor of action surge that you want. Because when I started doing cosplay 13 years ago, I got really big into everyone in the cosplay group having a character and their own backstory. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I did a game called Into the Mists for like these incredible cosplayers. Yeah, that man, there was Jessica Negri, Meowry was in there, Peach Jars, Blue Jay. Yeah, like yeah, they're really cool. That's the game I joined in on. Oh, really? Into the Mists? Yeah, Into the Mist was sick. That's some really cool. Man, they were really good players. They were super nervous, but they were really good players. Yeah. Good times. Good times, as it were. Speaking of which, I want to check something real quick. Let's see, check something. Yeah, it was Blue Jay, Jessica Negri, Severia, Meowry, Pocket, and Peach Jars. Just wanted to make sure I named them all. Didn't want them to think I forgot about them or anything. Beef, yeah. Yeah, it was good times. Okay. Time to make the things happen. All right, I need to lock in. But I want to lock in with... Yes. Yes! Yes!
inside us. We're all just flesh and bone. To wander the deadlands forever. Will we ever get the chance? Will we ever get the chance to show them? So many forgotten, we live on in the city that once was timeless. You drank deep and you paid the price. Answer the dark whisper, and you will tear this world apart. Our world apart. Our world apart. You will tear this world apart. Is that all you've got to say? Just this is not another game. Not one that you wanna play. Step by step by step, walk through your grave. Is that all you've got to say? Just this is not another game. Not one that you wanna play. Step by step by step, walk through your grave. There's no one left you can play. A lonely woman with step by step by step, walk through your
Man, I'm having trouble with this one. Getting the higher tiers of it has been pretty hard of it because I don't want to have it affect the base governing attributes. Something in my eye, I gotta get it out. target sealed. Maybe. And I'm having trouble with this one. First 3 tiers, imbuement to a sub-attribute. Basic benefit. Tier 4 is saving throws of the parent attributes are increased by this, which is good. Ignores penalties to the parent attributes of the chosen sub-attribute, so it deals with some of the effects of curse. I can't do any further increases because that'd be too much. I know what to do. Figured it out. The imbued incurs resistance to dispelling of this imbuement. The imbued grants its tier 6 effect to all imbuments it is benefiting from. There we go. Now we found the niche. The idea is that the effect is so heavily enchanted that it is difficult to remove. Yeah, I like that. That's a unique perspective. Of course, I'll have to define dispelling as probably one of the other things, but I was going to have to do that anyway. Yeah. That looks good. Yeah. There's a reason at lower levels to cast it, reason at higher levels to cast it. I don't want things to be useful. Or not cast it, but apply it through effects and abilities. I don't want something to become useless. Yeah, it looks good to me. Whoo boy! Not bad at all. Okay, unfortunately, that's all the time I had. I gotta go early today. We got some good progress, though. How many did we do? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not as many as I'd like, but we still got some done. These are just going to take me longer because I have to think of so much whenever I make them. Like, I have to think ahead. I have to think before I... It's a good thing I'm doing these now, because if I tried to make classes, or if I tried to make the class abilities details without having this, it'd take me like 3 times as long. So it's a good thing I'm doing this, because now if I want to give a class the ability to make something apply, I know exactly what to give it. I know how to give it. I know what it's going to be. Yeah. This should not be stackable, though. And it should not be... well, if it's not fading, then I'd have to give it a duration. I'll take off fading. I don't think it should fade, and we should make this... the duration of this imbuement is determined by the controlling source. There we go. Looks good. Looks good to me. Yeah. I'll get the job done. All right. Whew, boy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for supporting the channel. I'm going to be out and about today. Tomorrow, or tonight, I should have all the current questions answered in the epilogue stuff, so that way everybody has everything locked in on Saturday, so I can write out all the stuff and do the big Sunday finale stream for everybody. How are you doing Q&A? What do you mean? I'm doing it in the epilogue channels. In the epilogue channels, as the announcement stated a couple of days ago. But I'll be going through there and answering them. So remember, if you have questions, you have to post them in the epilogue channel, and I'll answer them there. And that's gonna be the final lock-in of whatever your epilogue is going to be in that channel. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.